And companies for their roles in promoting Russia's, quote, malign activities. Here's Press Secretary Sarah Sanders defending the president's actions earlier.
As the president has said, he wants to have a good relationship with Russia, but that's going to depend on some of the actions by the Russians. What we would like to see is the totality of the Russian behavior change. We want to continue having conversations and work forward to building a better relationship.
Joining me now, Lester Munson, former staff director for the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Good afternoon.
Hey, Lauren.
Can you define the relationship right now between the U.S. and Russia?
Well, it's very strained, and probably as strained as it's ever been since the end of the Cold War. These sanctions are a real significant step. They follow the Trump administration throwing out 6 Russian diplomats and spies. They follow even more sanctions back in March and a number of other steps. There's also been hostilities between the American-led coalition in Syria against Russian mercenaries. So, I mean, things are very testy right now.
Yeah, and, you know, the president got a lot of criticism for not coming down on Russia hard enough. And a lot of folks at that time said what he needs to do is target the money, target the power, target the elite. And now he has.
Well, I think because of a lot of the other news about the Mueller investigation and other things, people have perceived that the Trump administration has not been tough on Russia. I actually think the opposite is the case. The administration's taken a very tough line since it's been in office the past 14, 15 months. This is the administration that armed the Ukrainians to actually fight back against the Russians in Ukraine. It's taken a number of positive steps, but it's been kind of lost in some of the other news.
Lester, how do you expect Russia to respond here?
It will try to respond in a negative way and try to harm U.S. interests, most likely in Syria or in Eastern Europe. And I think there's other steps the U.S. can do. While these sanctions were tough, they could have been tougher. One thing I'd look for is for the administration to start working with our European allies to have them join in with these sanctions and make them multilateral. They'll be much more effective if other countries join us. And I think I would also hope that the president rhetorically does more to support democracy and human rights. That's President Putin's real vulnerability in Russia. He was elected in a sham election. I don't think our president should be shy about pointing that out.
It seems to me that the president really stepped up the attack and the pressure on Russia after the alleged poisoning by that country of the Russian spy and his daughter in the UK. That does show us showing some solidarity with the West and the rest of the world, no?
It does, but one of the and I think it's laudatory, and we should, when the president does the right thing, everyone should point out, including Democrats on the Hill, which has largely happened today. I think you've seen a lot of positive statements because the president's policy, in fact, is really where the bipartisan consensus is on how we should be approaching Russia. So I think that's all a good thing. But one of the things the last administration did that was a little bit more effective than this one was actually work in concert with our allies in Europe to kind of hem in Moscow's bad acts. While the president has taken tougher steps directly than President Obama did, I think in a lot of cases, President Obama actually did a decent job of getting our allies to go along with him. I think President Trump can do that as well.
All right, we'll see. Lester Munson, thank you.